Hi beautiful ones, and it is a joy to share this time space with you. I have to admit, I might be a little bit excited about this reading. And I want to let you know that I want to say welcome to the new subscribers. I know there's been a lot of new ones, especially that saw the December monthly, and so I do, to let everybody know, I do a weekly reading over on Vimeo on demand, and so last week's was very powerful. They're different. They're a different energy because it's not so many people at all, and so it's a different group. But if you feel called to check that out this week, please do so. Also, if you usually buy the weekly and you didn't because of the monthly coming out, I'm going to do half price on last week's and this week's Vimeo. So I think that will make it like $1.45. So both last week's and this week's are going to be half price. So not 145, it's wrong. 190, 185, something like that. 195, I think. 190. I thought I was good at arithmetic. Anyway, it's going to be half price this week for last week's and this week's reading. So if you usually buy it and you didn't last week, take a look. Don't miss that information. And if you're new, it's so that I want as many people as possible to take a look at the reading. So with the code IAMLOVE, all uppercase, you will be able to purchase the readings on Vimeo on demand for half price, both last week's and this week's, because it's such an important month. And I want as many people as possible to get those messages if they feel drawn to them. So, just a little bit of that, and I'm just really excited to get these cards out, so let's have a look. So excited. Cool, I think we're ready. Oh, that's so fun. So fun! Bottom of the deck is the Tower. What does it mean? It means that all the barriers to love are falling away. This can be tumultuous. This can be challenging. We can see on the card, it looks a little bit challenging, doesn't it? I do not read reversals in the tarot because each card is an energy and it has a spectrum. And so some people read reversals, so if it's upside down, it means something different. I don't read reversals. The moon just popped out underneath to say hello as well. Oh no. So the moon's about things coming out of the woodwork that we hadn't seen before and truth being revealed. But the cards, you know, every reader, you know, you read intuitively and they're just an excuse. It's just a picture, you know, on a card that helps us to intuit messages. And really it's happening all the time from everywhere. The Tower can be so many different messages. But really, it's the barriers to love falling away. But that can be traumatic. Not traumatic. I don't want to say traumatic. There is. I'm not going to pretend that there isn't scope for suffering within that Tower card. Of course there is. But really, it's that we have to kind of get out of the building that we've built upon this very shaky foundation. We've built, it's like Jenga, you know. It's like Jenga, basically, that we're playing. And it's as though we could think about Jenga and we think about every block is a belief. And it's a barrier to love. So we're removing all those barriers. But in the process, we can feel doubt, we can feel uncertainty, we can feel fear. In those times, reach out. I have people reaching out to me. I've been working very intensely with some people, you know, and you can, their experience transforms 180, you know, through conscious awareness. That's what it's about. And so if you can be aware of what's happening and not get so sucked up into the story in the moment, that will help you out a lot. I often ask myself, if the stories of life can really pull you in. And in presence, it's important. It is important that we allow the stories of life to move us and change us, and they teach us about ourselves. But really everything is just a story. We have a story about ourselves, we have a story about another person, and in these relationships it's just a story. If we can kind of take a step back and see the story, the way the method that I use is you just ask yourself, if I'm on my deathbed, project yourself into, you know, it's the last moments of your life, and you know, and you've lived a very full, beautiful life, you're very, very, very old, and you're surrounded by people that love you, and you know that it's, you know, are you going to care about this thing? If it's a yes, then, you know, give it some thought. But if it's a no, 99.999% of times, it's better for you to just trust life. And the tower is really a very strong cultivation ground for faith. Faith is the path. Faith being believing things that you can't see. Because that is the path of God or the Creator. Knowing ourselves as the godly part of ourselves, which is the creator of our experience. We must allow ourselves to be new. And in love, I do believe love's eyes are always new eyes. So we need to often put energy into allowing things to fall apart and not holding on to things for too long. Because these people, you know, for me, it's like, the tower doesn't fall, it doesn't get catastrophic until kind of like the last minute. Life will not throw things at you, you know, if you're tuned in, you will feel before, like animals, when there's a natural disaster, they know before because they're tuned in. So they're already often, you know, operating in a way to protect themselves from the fire, the catastrophe or whatever, the seeming catastrophe. And so this is the power of intuition, and this is the power of this work that I do, and the power of you touching this energy when you watch these videos, because that's what it is. Again, I just remembered, the webinar, I'm doing a webinar on the 17th of December. Join me there, and webinar energy bath, it's an energy bath. You touch that energy. It's 2 hours long, 2.5 hours long. You touch that energy, you will be transformed. Because I know, I can just say that because that's what happened last time, you know. And I felt it. I felt it. I am transformed. It's just incredible, this gift of being together in this love. But, you know, don't hold on. When we hold on, when we don't follow our intuition, first, we've got to get in tune with it, and it can be difficult. But, you know, we don't have to be having to jump out of the burning building or, you know, building that's falling down. We can notice much, much earlier we can be more aware, we can be more present, and it will stop things, We can't control life, though. You've got to, even if it feels that way and it feels like it comes out of the blue and suddenly it feels like everything's falling down, that's, again, that path of faith. You have to go with it. You have to go. There's nothing you can do. And you have to know that it's always a gift. Life is always saying, no, not this way. Let this go. And, but yes, like I said, there's scope for, it's the message I have is, it is that Rumi quote. Oh, wait a second, where is it? It's somewhere. About and I always forget it, like I have to read it, even though that's my favourite. The barriers to love, it's the barriers to love, the barriers to freedom, the barriers to you being who you are. That's what's falling away. Two little jay birds, I think, just saying hello. So yes, that's what this is about, and let's go on with the rest of the reading. First card for the master.
Hi, you gorgeous being, and this week's Vimeo is really showing us how things are good when they can seem as though they're not. It's really all about the work that I do, which is what's really going on behind the scenes. When it seems this way, what actually is going on. And we are a team this week. It's a team. And it shows how we are a team and always working together. Let's start talking in we now, only by understanding things in terms of we and us rather than me and you is going to work. So check it out. Half price this week with the code I am love, because you are. Loads of love. See you in a sec.